In today's dynamic business environment, the relationship between customer relationship management and customer experience has evolved into a powerful synergy that defines how businesses connect with their customers. As customer expectations shift, companies increasingly depend on advanced technologies and integrated systems to deliver personalized and seamless experiences. Hello, everyone. I am Shahima, and welcome to Expert Edge. In this episode, we will delve into how CRM systems are adapting to these demands, explore the emergence of customer engagement centers, that is CECs, and discuss the transformative role of artificial intelligence in personalizing customer journeys. We'll also touch upon the future of CRM, CX, and contact center as a service, which is CCaaS, examining how these elements combine to provide a unified omni-channel experience for customers. Today we have Jason Miller, Vice President, Chief Evangelist, and Principal Consultant at Creatio, along with Shruti Jadhav, Vice President and Principal Analyst, and Richa Chaube, Analyst from QCAS Group. Over to you, Shruti.
Hi, Jason. It's a pleasure to have you on the Experted Show today. And I'm really excited to dive into a topic that's crucial for businesses today. And that's a powerful relationship between CX and CRM. And I'm very happy that I get to explore this topic with you on how CRM and CX, how they work hand in hand to create long term, meaningful customer connections and can help brands adapt to the changing customer expectations. And having said that, we know that traditionally CRM solutions were designed to help businesses manage relationships with their customers and prospects far beyond employees' inboxes or meeting notes. However, they provided an overview of the customer without answering the why behind the customer's behavior. And I think this is where the CX comes into the picture. And like when we talk about CRMs today, it is clear that we've come a long way over the past decade. I think CRM systems have evolved from being basic tools for managing customer contacts or tracking sales to becoming more CX-centric platforms and that focus on delivering seamless, personalized experiences across the entire customer's journey. And I think this shift was driven by several factors, including changing customer expectations, advancements in technologies, and also the need for omni-channel engagement. And like for instance, let's take an example of Creatio, right? For this shift in which now integrates CRM with workflow automation, process management to help businesses manage not only the relationships with the customers but also the entire customer experience that they deliver throughout different stages, also from marketing and sales to service and the post-purchase engagement as well, right? So with such tools, I think companies can deliver more personalized, real-time experiences to their customers across every touch point. So, Jason, I think, with this, I would love to get your thoughts on this. From your perspective, how do you see CRM evolving to meet the demands of the today's customers? And what role do you think real-time customer data plays in this entire transformation?
I think that you already mentioned several great points. If we think about it, to your point, the world of CRM was really focused on what used to be the CIRM end of the value chain, right? So it was around customer information management. It was around the front end of sales processes. Regardless of the industry, it was about managing the intake and the lead flow. What we've seen for, I'd say the past 5 to 10 years is this transformation about how do I use information that I gain throughout the value chain in different areas to be able to engage better with my customers, whether that's in the lead flow process, it's in the sales process, it's in the customer service processes. We know that the data that's collected can have an impact across the value stream. Today's modern solutions like Creatio allow you to pull this information together from disparate data silos to be more informed, better engaged. And then, as you mentioned rightly, to be able to embed this information as part of workflows and automate many of the manual tasks that people have been doing for years. I'll use one specific example. If you think about the world of customer engagement, we think about it typically as, or have always thought about it as customer support. But this isn't true.
Correct.
Customer engagement comes at many point in times across this value chain. If we think about it, a customer's buying behavior may be driven by their past experiences with us as an existing customer. We need to take this information into account, and we need to be able to understand what that behavior and what that persona is going to need to be able to best engage with them throughout the early part of the sales processes. These are just some examples of how data collected across the entire value stream really impacts every aspect of today's modern CRM engagements.
Absolutely, Jason. And just to build up on your points as you mentioned, I think it is making the process smoother both for customers and employees, and also automating manual work, and which is freeing up time for teams to focus on more meaningful interactions, and also helping businesses identify high priority leads, ensuring sales efforts are focused on most valuable prospects, or even providing more deeper insights on customer behavior, enabling more personalized and relevant experiences. And I think also with predictive analytics, I think businesses can anticipate customers' needs well in advance, right? Which also leads to reducing churn. And definitely, I think with this, I think CRM just does ensure consistency across all touch points, maintaining a unified brand message, and drives long-term customer loyalty as well, right? So, Richa, you
So
have,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, so absolutely, I absolutely agree with whatever Shruti has just mentioned about CRM, and also Jason, the most of the points you have covered. So I would like to, talk more about, how CRM has evolved now and transformed into customer engagement centers as we know today. So basically, we know that it's not enough for organizations to just manage customer relationships transactionally. As the customers now, they expect more. So people are interacting with the brands across various touch points, different channels, starting from social media or chatbots or in-person experiences. So to companies need to step up their game, and they need to be more dynamic and have a more personalized approach towards their customers. So that's where I think customer engagement centers come in, and they basically take the traditional CRM a step further by not only storing the customer data but using it to create a seamless and personalized experience across various touch points that the customers are coming in. And with the help of advanced tools like AI, automation, and real time data, I think CECs help business engage customers more in like real time, and as Shruti mentioned, and anticipate their needs and deliver more unified experience across various teams like sales, marketing, and service. So basically, for example, a e-retail company, they also, through its predictive analytics or AI, they offer personalized recommendations, which basically is driven by data integration across various touch points, that is customer browsing history, their purchase trends, and the peer behaviors. So ensuring to provide a very cohesive shopping experience to the customer regardless of any channel they have used before. So as we see the rise of CECs, Jason, and their impact on customer engagement, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges that businesses are facing when trying to implement these systems, and how do you think they can overcome these obstacles to fully leverage the power of real time and omni-channel customer engagement?
I think you've mentioned several points here, and let's break them down a little bit. If we think about how we want to engage with customers, typically it starts with I want to know the customer, and I want to understand the customer, and then I want to meet the customer in the channel that they are engaging with me or where they want to be engaged with. Typically, this is all revolving around data. It's where does this data sit? How do I get access to it? How do I pull it all together to have a unified view? Now, if we think about CECs, these are the platforms that help pull information together. It's and then drive insights from it. You mentioned things like traditional AI, predictive analytics. I actually think it goes a little bit further than that. I think it not only is looking at the data from the past, it's also looking at current data and also predicting future behaviors through traditional AI, being able to have engagement through generative AI, and even to some point, you mentioned, bots earlier, even an agentic pattern, right? So I know that some of the platforms out there, their favorite word right now is agent. But if we think about this, having agents or having bots or having generative or having traditional AI, it's all revolving around having the right data because all of these three patterns of AI work together. So let's break this down. If we think about past consumer behavior, whether that's peer behavior, whether that's the individual behavior, it doesn't matter if you're in a B2B world, in a B2B2C world, or in direct B2C, It's all about what has happened in the past and what can I infer from that. Things like next best offer. Maybe it's providing product recommendations, as you mentioned earlier, or maybe it's looking at things that have been bundled together in the past, or I know that there is a linkage between SKU 1 and SKU 2, maybe from my back-end system. These are things that I can use to prompt that user or that buyer in an NBO type of situation. But if we think about how the other patterns of AI, generative and agentic, now we're focused on making our engagements with them even easier. When we think about I'm talking about the users of these CEC systems, providing the information readily available at their fingertips and giving them the ability to query and prompt in a generative scenario. What should I be thinking about with this customer? How should I interact with them? What is their preferred channel? What is a summary of the information of that customer? This is a generative scenario. Or being able to use agentic AI and understanding and having some sort of machine behind the scenes doing things, preparing emails, preparing offers or quotes, all of this without human interaction. All of these are really kind of that next extension of even not just past CRM, but it's past CEC. It's pulling all that data together, building highly customized and highly personalized engagements, regardless of channel, and then allowing the users of these systems, right, the people that are actually touching from an employee standpoint, these CEC systems, having all of these tools at their fingertips to drive this really important and very collaborative experience between data and user with the customer. This is really where I think the future goes, and the challenges that organizations face with it, to get back to your question, is really around where is my data? How do I pull it together? Do I have to have one platform versus disjointed systems working together? The more and more you look at it, you see organizations with data silos, right? This was created by SaaS and commercial off-the-shelf solutions over the last 20 years. I think organizations are starting to see they're able to pull this data back together into one place with ease, because technology has started to evolve in such a way that you're able to use citizen development tools and you're able to use generative tools to compose, I guess that's the right word, compose these solutions that are easy to integrate, bringing business back into one place. This is, I think, what is going to help with some of these challenges of these disparate data silos. And then the tools that they have that we just talked about is what's going to allow them to best engage with a lot of those types of data sets and different customer information.
And that's really, insightful thought. Even like as we are moving ahead, and we are using AI in everything, like as you mentioned, generative AI and agentic AI, which are being like used readily by the vendors to enhance the customer experience. So I would just like to talk about AI is playing a transformative role in enhancing the personalizing customer journeys rather. So as we know that beyond the automation, AI's core strength is also, like as you mentioned, creating a 360-degree view of customers by integrating data from various touch points and offline activities as well. So basically, it gives us the whole holistic perspective and allows the brand to anticipate the customer needs to provide the recommendations and also tailor the interactions effectively. This is also done by generative AI and the other AI modules. So, for example, if we take a cosmetic brand, it also employs AI to gather the data from the past interactions within the app or the website or the customer's purchase histories, and it also have this predictive ability to predict the refill of the product that the customer might be needing, and triggering the timely reminders to them so that they can come up and buy the new product. And along with this, if we talk about Netflix, it also uses like machine learning to analyze the user behavior, like viewing history and the preference. So combining all of that data, it gives a really a very rich and personalized recommendations to the viewers, which as Shruti mentioned, helps in providing immersive experiences and gains or fosters more loyalty and increases customer satisfaction. So, Jason, like, how do you see the role of AI in personalizing the customer journey, and how all this is, leveraging, how leveraging this is going to change the CX game altogether for the vendor?
I think that there's a lot of different views in the world today about how AI is truly going to impact it. What I'm going to tell you is what I'm seeing. Obviously, predictive analytics and I'll call it traditional AI has been around for many years. I do think organizations face challenges to leverage traditional AI to get insights into their customers. But I think now that, we're 2 years since OpenAI launched the connector and really started to get this big boom of generative AI. I think that organizations are now looking at how can I not just do generative AI, but they're going back and looking at how they can use traditional AI and predictive modeling to better engage with their customers. I also think that what we're going to see is continued different use cases and continued different patterns that cross all three major patterns of AI, including traditional, generative, and agentic. Now, when it comes to how is it going to be used, sky's the limit, right? And I think it depends a little bit on what industry you're in. I'll give you a couple examples. If you think about, you said the next Netflix example, and that's a really good example because yes, they're using traditional AI to look at not only your viewing history, but viewing history of others, right? And it'll even tell you on there, people who have watched this movie often like this movie, whether it's a genre based or it's based upon demographic information or even geolocation. That's a great example of how that's changing your customer journey. But they can use that information in more ways. They can use that to then reach out to you, send you an email. Hey, you recently watched this. Would you potentially be interested in X, Y, and Z? Or, even if we go back to a subscription model, right? Maybe healthcare. Nowadays, everybody's rapidly on these weight loss medications, especially here in the US. But what we see is that folks that are interested in these types of things, and we see all of these online doctors now, right? We see all of these organizations that are spinning up digital medical shops to provide not just weight loss, but hormone replacement therapy or those types of online medical services. But what are they doing? They're using traditional patterns as well as generative patterns to be able to drive these engagements. It's so interesting because organizations across various industries are now starting to use these. When we think about personalization, one of the big things that I see organizations using generative scenarios a lot is around being able to meet customers with their personal language needs, right? Most of the times when we sign up with customers or companies, but we want to engage with them, we tell them what our preferred language preference is. And we see this all the time, and most, but not all, CEC platforms are now using generative AI to do those real-time translations. So I may put a template together in English, but I've got, AI in the back end that's doing the translations into Spanish, French, German, whatever my preferred language is, so that the marketeers are only having to put together one template, one standard, but they're allowing AI to do these translations. This is a great form of personalization past just the product offering. And then finally, when we think about engagement from a agentic standpoint, having smart and constantly learning bots that allow you to understand what engagements are happening, what are the paths or the flows that have been undertaken, the exception paths and the straight line happy paths, and even some of those paths that take you out of an agentic bot type scenario and bring you back over to a human. These are things where this information is going to be needed to be able to streamline these processes, make the AI models more effective and more efficient, how they're going to then empower the end users of these scenarios. All of these will work together. I think the big caution that I see organizations struggling with, and even some of the solution providers, if these are disjointed solutions, if they are bolted on to a core, this is going to be a challenge because they don't work together seamlessly. You have to do a lot of work to have an agentic pattern have a clean handoff to a generative, or thinking about a handoff from a bot to a customer service representative. Those are typically very disjointed experiences because they're two different solutions that are bolted together. I think that organizations that look at holistic platforms that bring these patterns in one place will start to realize that these are better options for driving seamless transitions between these patterns. Not only will you be able to move from an agentic pattern to a generative pattern to a predictive pattern and back and forth, you're going to see them start to feed off each other. You're going to use outcome of predictive models to feed generative scenarios, right? So a marketeer may ask, what is a good target segment for this product? You're going to be looking at the predictive outputs for a product. You're going to be looking at predictive outputs for customer segmentation, maybe with some additional filters, and then the LLMs will give you the outputs. All of this is still rapidly evolving. There is no silver bullet today, but I do think that platforms, yes, like Creatio, that bring all these things into one place are going to have better performance and provide better engagement models than disjointed solutions that are on the market. But I do think that eventually everybody will coalesce to pull these things together.
Absolutely, Jason. I think great insights and great examples as well. And you did mention, about the integration part, and I think today's also other point that I wanted to stress upon was the omni-channel engagement, right? Along with this, because today's customers interact with brands through a multitude of channels, say social media, apps, websites, and in store, and so many, right? And I think the challenge also businesses face is ensuring these interactions are not only consistent but also connected, no matter where or how the customer engages with the brands. And I think it's also crucial for brands and organizations to understand their customers better, their behaviors and patterns, the significant events across their journey. And I think, like you just mentioned, the holistic view is and a unified view is really essential. And also with this, I see there are a lot of technologies, obviously CRM and so many other technologies like say CCaaS or even CDPs and so many other technologies within CX or the adjacent markets as well are forming a lot of strategic partnerships, a lot of co-innovation happening there. And these collaborations obviously, aim to drive the next gen of the customer experience by integrating systems that allow businesses to deliver a truly, omni-channel experience and also understand the customers more holistically and deliver real-time engagement capabilities and so on. So, with all these technologies coming together, to serve a common goal of helping brands achieve CX excellence, right? So, what do you think, with these multitude of technologies, aiming to offer this, what would also be the impact of this on the end users? And also, what could be the key challenges businesses may face while adopting these technologies, which help them deliver a seamless end-to-end customer journey?
I think that there's going to be two major movements, and I'm going to quote a gentleman named he is the leading analyst in the world of citizen development. I think that what's happening is we're seeing the demand for innovation at an all-time high, right? This is why IT backlogs have been growing for years. And, when it comes to this world of customer experience, you've always had an option of buy commercial off-the-shelf solutions that are an 80/20 rule, right? Or you had to build very highly customized platforms with a lot of code. I think what John is saying now is that between the world of Gen AI and the ability to build applications using AI and the ability to customize these very quickly with no-code tools, what we're going to see is the innovation curve is going to steepen. I think that using these tools, whether it's Gen AI or citizen development tools, is going to accelerate how organizations start to build customized applications. So in this world of customer engagement and even CCaaS to some extent, you're going to see integrated systems move faster. You're going to see unification in platforms move faster because it allows them to create these very highly custom applications in days and months, not months and years. If I think about the number one thing that he predicts is that 80% of all applications will be built by citizen developers. What does this mean? It means that the people who are dealing and engaging with customers today are going to be the people that are helping build and define your applications to engage with customers in the very near future. This is good and bad. I think it's good because it allows the business to have direct input into the solutions that they are using every single day. I think it's bad because it's going to redefine the overall market for these solutions that support things like CCaaS and CRM and CEC. That being said, I think it's time. If you look at what the world's done over the last 50 years, right? In the 80s and 90s, we all ran our business off of one single database, one large mainframe, and had a bunch of custom applications on it. But we pulled all those apart in the 90s and the early 2000s. Actually, it was 2000s really when we started to pull all these things apart. That's why big data became so big in the 2010s. But now that we understand that we need that data pulled back together to be able to drive good customer engagements, we can't have all of these disparate data silos.
Absolutely.
I think organizations understand that having this in one place and being able to quickly and easily deploy and manage applications to drive customer engagement is really what's going to happen. I think that, predicting that, there will be massive consolidation in this space. Many of the players that I think organizations have known for years, some of the biggest names in the business, will either become dinosaurs and obsolete, or they will transform. I'll just put it that way, and they'll have to because of consumer demand. This is, I think, really what technology is going to do over the next probably 3 to 5 years, and it's really driven by this surgence of AI and citizen development tools, because it allows you to get more focused on what's important, which is the engagement with customers, regardless of the channel, regardless of what technology you're using. The focus is now being really squarely put on how do I engage and what tools do I need to engage, and bringing the business into that is really at the center of a lot of those things.
Absolutely, Jason. And I like the point that you just mentioned that, going forward, you're going to see that, these technologies moving to different markets, redefining the markets, right? We did see CCaaS also, move from the support customer service or support function to more of a CX, system now, which is doing everything, which is doing proactive engagement, to helping companies do proactive engagement as well. And also using voice bots, chatbots, and Gen AI, and obviously co-pilots, autopilots for agent portfolios. So I think all this is, eventually taking up the CX game to another level altogether. And yes, and also with that, defining different markets now. So I think we will see a lot of convergence of capabilities and a lot of unification. And obviously, there's all the other aspect that you mentioned is about the data silos. And definitely having the right and the genuine data is the foundation of everything. So I think that's definitely going to be the crucial aspect here when we talk about AI or even CX solutions or even CRM for that matter, right? So thank you so much, Jason. I think it was fabulous to have you here, and thank you so much for your valuable insights.
It's been a
So,
pleasure, and I think that as we as practitioners, in the market, continue to look at how we better engage with customers, how we drive better engagements. What we're focused on is ultimately how to make the customer happy, regardless of what we do. Technology is going to be a big part of that, and I think that as organizations continue to evolve, they're going to be looking for new ways to solve these problems. And I think that, many solutions are out there. We're just happy to be part of it and helping drive better customer engagement.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Jason.
thank you,
Thank you
Jason,
very much.
for joining today, and that was really great discussion with you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
As we have explored today, the future of CRM and CX lies in integrating advanced technologies like AI, real-time data analytics, and omnichannel communication platforms. By merging CRM and CE systems, businesses can deliver tailored, seamless experiences that align with the evolving needs of modern customers. The ongoing advancements in CRM, CX, and CCaaS are not just enhancing customer interactions, but also offering profound insights into customer behaviors, fostering deeper connections, and cultivating long term loyalty. While navigating the challenges of these integrations, the ultimate goal for businesses remains clear: to create a truly connected, customer centric approach that anticipates needs, delivers value, and builds enduring relationships. Thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned for more such insightful discussions.